and welcome to the Upper Deck, and happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. I'm Lynn. Next to me is Sierra, and it's not the happiest of Sundays for Yankee fans, to say the least. So we're going to get right to it because Spencer has the day off for Father's Day, and there will be no trivia question. But we may or may not have a little treat for you in store at some point in the show. So to make up for that absence a little bit. So why don't we just jump right in? And as much as we don't want to look in the rearview mirror, we gotta. And hello, chat. I see you pouring in. We'll shout you out in a minute. So let's go back to a happier time, aka earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees, they had Monday off after coming off of a bad series against the Red Sox. They went into Kansas City and they woke up. Not only did we sweep the Royals for the series, we have swept them for the season series. And it's not like the Royals are a bad team, right? It's not like they're just some Joe Schmo. We beat them. We beat a team that has Bobby Witt Jr., Pasquantino. Like, they're a very good team.
Yeah.
We took 6 games from them this season. We're 6-0. The third game being kind of hysterical. We won 1-0, but Max Fried and Clark Schmidt both showed up for their respective starts. Clark, that was probably his best start this season. We've been waiting for it. Max Fried, I never have a doubt when Fried's on the mound, just in general. But game 1 was 10-2. Game 2 was 6-3. Game 3 was a 1-0 win with a punt lineup. There was no Judge, no Wells, no Chisholm. And Pablo Reyes was the hero of the game. So I don't even know what to say about that. But if we could go back and look how we did in Kansas City versus how we do in Boston right now, I would take that 100 times over, because right now we look like we're just dead in the water.
Yes, very well said. And you mentioned the name Pablo Reyes. So and that brings us to the Red Sox series next. And I thought, before we cry, courtesy of my sister Karen, here's a little treat for you. Let's see. Oh, I got to take this one down first. I'm not a good driver. Okay. Let's play it again.
I've never seen somebody so confused coming around third base. Like, I think in that moment he was like, "Oh crap, I really am a Major League Baseball player, and now I have to run home and score, and the game is on me now because it's a 0-0 game." And then the way he landed, I don't know if anyone else is a Sabrina Carpenter fan, but in all of her concerts, she always does a provocative move, and she's always like, "Have you ever tried this one?" And that's kind of what I thought of when Pablo Reyes landed on his back upside down, but that's just me. It was hysterical. That's the Pablo Reyes game. So when we win the World Series and they make the documentary, that game will be highlighted. Probably getting DFA'd tomorrow and going to work at McDonald's, but thank you for your service for that specific game.
And thank you, Karen, for your service. I mean, when she sent that to me, I was borderline tears, and that took the tears away. And so I'm going to delay talking about this series as long as I can. So let's say hi to everyone in the chat. In the chat. Chat is past tense of something, right? All right. Anyway. CT was here early. I don't know if he's still here, and Lori checked in. Boston is our kryptonite. You aren't wrong, but she isn't able to join the show. Jonathan, Deb, hey, what's going on? And we got Karen is here. Lou is here. Great to see you guys, FJ. Definitely lackadaisical. You're always so polite, FJ. I have a different word for it, and it's an SAT word, so good for you. So Lackadaisical for sure. Bats better wake up. You're right about that, Jared. Lou and Shayna. Great to see you, Shayna. And I believe that's all that have checked in so far. FJ saving my day. Yes, Lechette is French for cat. Thanks, FJ. Appreciate that. And Jared, saying your name. Okay.
Relax.
What?
I said relax.
All right, so back to the rear view. Let's get it out of the way.
God. Listen, if the Red Sox played the Yankees every day, they would win the World Series because we just do not show up against them. I mean, I wanted the rivalry back, but I wanted the rivalry to be on both sides, not to get our asses handed to us every time we play them, right? Like, we lost the first series already to them. We're already down 2 games in this series. Look, the game 1, I was confident because even though Garrett Crochet is their ace, we hit him the first time we saw him. We got 5 hits off the guy. Like, that's pretty good. He embarrassed us Friday night, especially Aaron Judge, okay? Judge, up until that home run, was 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts against Crochet this season. Those 3 strikeouts being Friday night. He's everything that he was advertised to be for the Red Sox, so good for them, I guess. But also, like, the most random guys on their team are beating us offensively. Like, who the hell is Trevor Story, right? Like, why are we getting our asses kicked by Trevor Story and Kristen Campbell? Narvaez, he's just showing us why he should have been the catcher that we kept versus who we didn't keep, like, who we did keep.
Yes.
Because, I mean, offensively, the guy's average, like, if you look across, like, the season, but look at his arm. He's showing us up. He's thrown out Volpe. Questionable call. He's thrown out Dominguez. Like, he looks good. But he also walked it off against us Friday night, and it's just that much more painful because he was ours, and we let him go. Also, can we not do the fake comeback thing again tonight? I can't do it.
No, stop with the teasing. We don't need the adrenaline in the 9th inning, 10th inning, like you've been doing. We love that you're the comeback kids, and we say, oh, they're the comeback kids. Don't worry, all the way through a game to help us cope. But really, we hate it when you don't actually do it. Unbelievable. And game 2 was no better with our favorite. Well, there's so many Red Sox to hate, but
Mr. Liar Pants on Fire.
Yes. You want to say his name?
Hunter Dobbins. I don't. Okay, I mean, my beef with this guy is, if your dad lied to you, that's fine. But like, it is 2025. There is so much technology to fact check what you're saying. Why would you even put yourself in the position to go on the record and basically be like, I hate the Yankees because they drafted my dad and traded him, and he never had a chance to play with them. So I would never, ever, 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 ever take a contract from them, which is BS. Let's be honest here. You would take a contract from us. We probably would never give you one, but you would take one. But it's so easy.
I hope I'm alive when you do, because I'll haunt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think that's like, it's so easy to fact check you. So now you're the most hated man in New York because you're an idiot. But he still backed himself up yesterday. He showed up. He kept us scoreless through 6 innings, and then we came out in the 7th and started the fake comeback. So Dominguez and Wells delivered with 2 RBI singles for us. In the 9th, we added on another run, but it was too late at that point, and we just couldn't rally. We did not have the rally in our bones. So
we definitely didn't. And adding to that was that the top 3 in the lineup, the 1, 2, 3s went 0, 0, 0 across the board. So and DJ, who's like been so great since he's coming back, also like eyeballs all the way across. So the bats have just not been batting. and
that's why I can't even be mad at Rodon, because it wasn't his best outing yesterday.
Nope.
But a 3-run game, like, that is very comebackable. I don't think that's a word. That's you can come back from a 3-run deficit. Your bats just have to show up. And it was more frustrating is if you look across MLB in every category, like statistically, like, we're in the top 3. So there is no reason that our bats are sleeping right now. Like somebody's got to wake up. All 1 through 9 can't be asleep at the same time.
Right.
Like, I hate the month of June because historically the Yankees do not perform well in the month of June, and we're in the middle of a 16 game stretch without a day off. And I just hate it. I hate it so much. Ugh.
Yep. And the thing is, the bats have been non-existent, and also we have been sloppy on the field. And so we're not doing the things. We are not doing any of the things. And certainly they're not our hottest on our heels, and I'll get to that in a second. But it is Boston, guys. And we named the show what we did for a reason, because that rivalry is always there, even when it's not as explicit as it's been in the past, because we're not clearing any benches yet. We'll see what happens today. But it's just been horrible. I think some words in the chat before were disgusting. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. All the bad adjectives about it. But let's remember something. Despite what John Schmaltz said last night multiple times, the Red Sox are not in contention for the playoffs now because of what they're doing this series. To say that is so ridiculous, so Schmaltz of you. And yes, I know his name is Schmaltz. I'll say it the right way to be a little bit professional. But the Red Sox are still 7.5 games behind us, guys. And so, and we're 4.5 up in first place. Who should we be worrying about? We should be worrying about the Rays and the Jays right now. And even they are 4.5 behind us. But you know what? I'm not going to sleep on that. I'd like that to be a more comfortable lead. But to say that on national TV was an embarrassment and an injustice to the Yankees. And really hyping up some hope for some Red Sox that don't follow the data or the numbers. The casuals are going, oh, we're in contention for the playoffs, and they're talking about it in the deli this morning. Really not nice. Not cool.
I can't stand Schmaltz, just because it's just obvious how much he hates the Yankees. And I hate that we've had to listen to him for every single Yankee Red Sox game this season. It's horrible. I will give the Red Sox a little bit of credit though, because there's still so much baseball left this season. And on paper, like going into the season on paper, they have a very good team. Bregman is injured right now, and he's their star-studded third baseman. They just brought up the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. And Rafael Devers, like when he wakes up, he's scary. So I'm a little worried about them later on. Like right now, I agree with you. They're 7.5 games back. Like I'm not worried about them in this moment. But later on, they remind me of the Astros, right? Like the Astros are a team that they can start 0-30 and somehow make the playoffs.
Yes.
And that's what the Red Sox are this season. They just hit 500 yesterday because they're playing us, and for whatever reason, we can't beat them. So I don't know how the rest of their season's going to pan out, but with the wild card race, I could see them sneaking in. But at the same time, the AL Central is so stacked this year that I don't know.
Right. And, and to your point, I'm going to be nice for a moment. It's so unlike me, but they're a young team. Mm-hmm. And those youngins need to be watched, because they're the ones that have really been showing up. To your point about, Devers really just not producing the way we would think, and we're missing Bregman, but those young guns are slinging their guns, and so
I'm happy we're missing Bregman. Like I'm not happy he's injured. So if there's a Red Sox fan watching this, like that's not what I mean. I would never wish an injury on anybody. But Bregman, we've seen him in Houston a lot. Now he's on our other rival, the Red Sox. Historically, he plays well against the Yankees. So imagine how much worse it would be if Bregman was playing.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. But to your point, Lynn, they have Marcelo Meyer. They have Kristen Campbell. They just brought up Roman Anthony. Like they're a very young team. So if Breggy and Devers are going and they're producing, those are your 2 veteran leaders. And Alex Cora knows how to win. Like that could be, even if not today, like even if not this season, they could be a scary contender moving forward in a very weak AL East.
Yep. And that's exactly why the show is named the way it was. First, it was a nod to that book I had to read over the summer in ninth grade, The Once and Future King. But really, this series aside, this could become again, because they spent a lot of money building the team back the past couple of seasons, and it's showing on us. And to your point, and I'm hanging on to your point, Sierra, June is never when the Yankees are busting out all over. So so we'll just have to pray for the second half of June to be better and July to just be popping. And FJ, yep, they're up 100%. Because if for the only reason being, I'm sick and tired of people saying that we're only in first place because that our division sucks so much, and here we are losing. So yes, absolutely, couldn't agree more. And Sean, hey Sean, good to see you. Yep, arch rivals forever. Yep, but it's been a snooze for a while. But it looks like it's coming back, and Raziel is here. They beat us 2 series without Bregman. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's kind of like, but that's kind of my point. Could you imagine if Bregman was playing? Like, will we be losing by a lot more? Like, would it? It's so frustrating. The whole thing is frustrating. I just want to be able to beat our rivals, because right now they're embarrassing us, and it sucks because we are in first place and we just swept the Royals. So can we show up today?
Right. Yep. And yep, FJ, another good point. FJ is dealing out the good points like he's in Vegas right now. But yeah, so and they know each other well too. So like, can't Boone learn a little from that? Rather than it's great to see you complain and yell at the umps, and we'll get to
I'm gonna come to Boone's defense, which I do very rarely. He can't outmanage players not producing. Like, there are things that he can control and there's things that we can blame him for, but like, when your entire lineup isn't hitting the ball, I can't be upset with him for that.
Right.
Yeah. He can't swing the bat. Right,
exactly. And Raziel's right there with you. They're just ice cold, and including Captain Marvelous, right? So and Lou stating the obvious, but you're absolutely right. I mean, Cora is a way better manager. And Cora has some history to him though too. Let's remember. But yeah, he is a good manager when he's playing fair. Oh, okay, did that slip out? So hey, John the Beagle Dad, it's been a while. Good to see you. And I also saw that there's other people that joined. I just want to say hi. And Lillian, hey Lillian, we saw you hop in. Good to see you. So all right, let's get to the next thing on the agenda. Let's talk about some hot topics. So I'll go first on this one. DJ got kicked out of the disco, y'all. Did you expect DJ to be tossed out of a game? Like,
that was his first career ejection ever.
I mean, the last person you would expect, and as long as he's been in the game, what Sierra just said, this is his first one. So, and can you imagine what he must have said to the ump, and how how flimsy the reason that they tossed him out, because he's like, well, I think you kind of might have missed the call there, with no eye contact, and he gets tossed. I mean, he certainly was an F-bomb or looking in his eye. So
he literally said, that was a brutal call. And the ump said, what did you just say to me? And DJ goes, that was a brutal call. no cursing, didn't raise his voice, didn't throw his gum like Aaron Boone. Like these umps are getting out of control because it's happening across the league. Like 2 weeks ago now, Nico Horner from the Cubs was thrown out because he asked the home plate ump if he was having a bad day. Like these umps need sensitivity training. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah, and they also need better rules and regulations to follow because they're getting away with the liberties they're taking. Just should not exist. I want to be at the table with the MLBUA the next time they negotiate because they have some fixing to do. So DJ and Boone got tossed out because of the fair or foul call. And so there's a bit of a debate on that. So I jotted something down from Max Goodman, and he said whether LeMahieu's line drive was fair or foul last night, MLB can get these calls right consistently if they implemented what we've seen in tennis. Soccer has it with the offside goal line calls, and there's ABS too. Feels like such a no-brainer for close, fair foul plays. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Sierra?
I think something needs to happen because it's so frustrating that they can get it wrong on the field, and then New York can get it wrong too. Because that same foul ball for DJ yesterday, right out the gate, it was a fair ball for Rob Ruffschneider, and it was a double.
Yes, you're right.
So how can it be foul for DJ and fair for Rob Ruffschneider? That's where I get a little frustrated because it's like, okay, if it was a consistent call, fine, whatever. We're wrong. We don't get the hit. But when you're making a call like that in extra innings where everything counts, and it was back-to-back bad calls that inning, I have an issue with that. And umps need to be held accountable, and something needs to be implemented to make it fair across the board because the rules are so loosey-goosey in MLB. Like, you never know what's going to get called when.
Yeah. And there has to be some consistency. I know every play is different, and you can't norm umping, but there has to be consistent lanes for making a call. And I know that it's difficult, and it's always like, if the rule always is when it's too close to call, it generally goes in favor of the player. Then what happened here then? Like with this debate and calling DJ out for it. So
that was my beef with the umps this whole series. These umps have been trash. And I'm not blaming the umps for our loss because we didn't play good, but they didn't help either. So that same game, Volpe gets thrown out at third. And while it was a great throw by Narvaez, even the Red Sox broadcast said Volpe was safe.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, the Red Sox fans are going to say he's out. The Yankees fans are going to say he's safe. But even the Red Sox broadcast is saying he's safe. And since I've been watching baseball, the tie typically goes to the runner.
Yeah.
So for that to get overturned, and then the very next thing for DJ to get a foul, for it to be a foul ball, I was a little pissed off because if Volpe was on third like he should have been, and that was a fair ball like it should have been, that's it. That's a scoring run in the extra inning. We also have one less out. We have DJ on first base, and the top of the order coming up. So even though Narvaez walked it off against us in the bottom of the 10th, we don't know what would have happened had those two calls not been wrong. That's where my frustration is. And then that same first base ump who threw out DJ was the guy behind the plate last night who gave Ben Rice a strike in the bottom in the ninth inning because he took too long to get in the batter's box or whatever inning. It might not even been the ninth. I don't even know. I was so frustrated. I'm like, are you? I thought Rice was about to get thrown out because he argued.
Right. Yeah, and it wasn't even like a hot face that he had on. So I don't think it was, an F-bomb slinging thing, but he was on the fence there. I was waiting for that too. Okay, and so let's talk about yours then, Sierra. Christian Campbell.
Yeah, so it's so silly, but Christian Campbell got hit by a pitch by Rodon, But if you watch the replay, he stuck his foot out to get hit by the pitch. And we've seen it in the past where Rizzo has like been called out for being over the line and intentionally getting hit, and he gets called out, right? Yesterday, like that was the case with Christian Campbell. He literally stuck his foot out to get hit by the ball, and they gave him the base. Like that should have been an automatic out. Like that was just frustrating to watch.
It was frustrating to watch. And I'm not taking the umpire's side here, but it would be hard to prove what his intention was. And so,
I don't know. I feel like he's right away. He's like pointing at his foot and going crazy. Like I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Okay.
And it's a rivalry game, so I wouldn't put it past them. But I get your point. Like we gotta give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but it just really.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I agree that the favoritism scale was heavy on one side, but that one of all of them, that would have been if he didn't like give him the base for that would have been the benches cleared kind of thing. I think Cora would have been tossed for sure for that. But all right, so we got our eyes on Christian Campbell, that's for sure. So go ahead with your next one.
I want to bring a little positivity into this conversation because I know we're very frustrated from the last two games. So while the Yankees are getting, they're not showing up against the Red Sox, which, we love to see that, obviously. I just want everyone to know, just to bring some positivity, we are in the top 3 for most categories across the MLB right now. So I'm just going to name a few. For total home runs, we're second in the MLB. We are first for home runs per game. Interesting. Second in MLB for slugging percentage and on-base percentage. We are first in OPS. Third for runs per game. Right now, we're averaging 5.4. That's why it's also very frustrating that we're not scoring runs right now. Mm-hmm. And we're third in the MLB for RBI as well. So, like, when we have guys in scoring position, we are bringing them home typically. And then our pitching staff is actually third in MLB for strikeouts. So we're doing the right things. We are just hitting our June slump right now. And it's just frustrating because it's happening now and it's happening in real time and against our rivals of all teams.
I like that. Thank you. Yeah, it's good to remember the good things when we can. And FJ, yeah, hit by pitches is reviewable, but I think Boone saw it as clear as everyone else did and figured it would be a non-starter. So, but yes, they absolutely are. Hey, good to see you, 99 over 22. Let's see. I think he has a hot topic of it, or she's. 99 over 22 says Yarbrough gets paid $2 million and Yari De Los Santos is getting paid $760K and Rodon, etc. Let up more runs than Yarbrough and Yari combined. So that's the thing about Rodon coming up here.
Yeah. And then he goes on to say, or they Rodon is making more than Crochet. Yes. However, I'm going to address a few things because if you would have said this last year, I would have been like, yes, let's hate on Rodon. I'm with you. Rodon is having a very good season. He had a bad outing. We can't expect him to be perfect every outing. It's not possible. And we all know, like we've watched Rodon up and down with the emotions. We watched him blow a kiss to the fans last year when he had a bad outing. But this is not the same Rodon. And I'm saying this as someone who has hated Rodon's contract from the beginning. I live in Chicago, so I watched him play a lot for the White Sox because I'm in close proximity. Games are cheap, whatever. I never thought we should have signed him. I didn't think he was good enough for the contract. But with Garrett Cole being down and him actually being a good number 2 to Max Fried right now, like I can't be mad at the guy. Now, Garrett Crochet, this is his first big boy contract. I think later on in life, he will make more money. I think he is everything that the White Sox said he was going to be when they traded him to the Red Sox. The Red Sox were smart because they're extending all of their young guys. They're smart.
Yep.
They see what they have. They're extending them now. I can't hate them for that either. But they also do not spend money the way that the Yankees do. I mean, the guy who owns the Red Sox also owns a Major League Soccer team. he's not going to spend the money the way that the Yankees will. It's just not the same. But Rodon looks very good this season. And I'm not going to take that away from him when our offense did not show up at all for him. And our defense was questionable.
Yeah. At a minimum, questionable. So yeah, he didn't have his best stuff. And to your point, 99 over 22, could have been better of his start prior, but still in all, even with those two bad outings, he's different mentally, which is making all the difference. So he didn't blow kisses. He didn't like shake his head when Volpe, blow through that horrible throw, like he would have done last season. He's new. He has a new makeup about him too. So, and I still give a lot of the credit to his wife, because I think she's coaching him for free. So, all right. So let's get back to. Thank you for the positivity. I'm about to step on it. Not really though, but this is a little bit hot, but probably not. Grish, can we all agree that Grisham is not our leadoff guy? Can we just not see that? We have the lineup, and I don't think it's Grisham. I can't read that small right now, but this was that experiment's over with. He's clutch, but lower down in the order clearly is where he gets it. Rice also. I know it's a small sample size, but move him down too. Get him out of the top 3. And I'm wondering if DJ needs to move up. So DJ right now, in terms of batting average, is number 3. And if you go by last night's lineup alone, he's number 3 in batting average after Judge and Goldie.
Mm-hmm.
Got to admit, and we've said it, that he's been doing great. So does he really need to be 5 or 6? I'm wondering if we should keep an eye on that.
So I don't have the answer for the lineup because we haven't seen a consistent lineup this season. Like the construction, it drives me crazy. And I don't know if it's Boone. I don't know if it's analytics. I think the Yankees are very analytically driven, and it drives me up a wall because I think there's a time and place for analytics. But with that being said, the leadoff hitter situation is something that the Yankees needed to address years ago, and they haven't. We finally somewhat found it in Glaber last season, but we knew that wasn't going to be long-term because we knew that at the end of 2024, we were parting ways with him. Now, I personally think Jason Dominguez will eventually be our leadoff hitter. But Grisham, yeah, to your point, he should no longer be leading off. I also think that Grisham is regressing right now, and he's in a bit of a slump. Ben Rice, I don't know. He's hot, and then he's not, and then he's hot, and then he's not. He's still young. He's still figuring it out, but I agree, maybe move him down. The only thing I slightly disagree with is DJ LeMahieu. I'm worried if we move DJ up, that puts too much pressure on him, and he is playing very well right now. And I don't want it to play mind games with him because he's producing for the first time in what feels like forever. And I love that for him. You know what I mean? Like he feels like he is a veteran. He's a veteran, and he feels like he's contributing to this team. And you can see it. You can see the way that he just carries himself differently. So I don't have the answer, but I don't want Grisham as leadoff. I 100% agree there.
Right. And I get your point about DJ. It would be a lot for him, considering the things you just said and the fact that he just now, got his first toss out ejection from a game in his entire career. So, we need to slow down on DJ. So I get that. So I concede. And you get the last hot take.
Listen, I love Jazz. This is not Jazz slander, okay? I think Jazz is a breath of fresh air. I love cocky players. I love him. But do we have to be concerned about him being injury prone moving forward? He's already hit the IL this season, and then versus the Royals, 2 games in a row he left early. The first one, I'll give it to him. It was a weird play. Miguel Garcia it was awkward. Also, shout out to the very classy Royals fans online who are very blatantly showing their racism towards Jazz Chisholm. Like, we see you. you're all idiots. But anyway, but the next game he left with groin tightness, and then we didn't see him for game 1 versus the Red Sox. Do we have to be concerned moving forward that Jazz is injury prone? Because listen, I hate to bring up our ex. I really don't hate to bring him up because he's my favorite player. But you know what Gleyber Torres never did? You know what he did for us when he was here? He gave you 150 games. So, right. And I'm not saying Gleyber's the answer. Look, I get why we broke up with him. But now we have to be concerned about having consistency in the infield because who knows how long DJ is going to hold up. If Jazz is always getting injured, we know Peraza's not the answer. Jorbit's still developing. And Pablo Reyes, he should be working at McDonald's. So now I'm concerned about our infield long term.
Right. And, so Egyptian magician, hey, good morning, by the way, is saying that in his defense, he's hitting the ball hard. And John's bringing the love. I don't think Sierra is saying the opposite of that, because I think who doesn't, other than the certain, like what Sierra said earlier, certain microaggressive racist sort of leanings going on around him. He's beloved. I think across the board, people see that he's good for the team. He's a great guy in the clubhouse. And he is hitting the ball hard. You're not wrong. Absolutely. Egyptian, but is that also what caused, the injuries he's had recently? So as always, we got to put our faith that we don't have in the medical staff and the conditioning teams. But look, we'll put a Post-it note on that and hope it's not true and not going to play out that way. But it has.
Yeah, Jazz has looked fantastic since coming off the IL, but I'm concerned about his injuries moving forward. Like, how many times is he going to leave the game because he has a tight groin or a stiff neck or his flank is hurting? I love Jazz. Jazz is my guy, but yeah, I'm thinking long term and being realistic. And that's why unfortunately, a guy like Pablo Reyes gets to stay around, because he gives you versatility. He can play multiple positions, even if he sucks at them.
Right. Yep. We almost always agree. I agree with that also. You know what else we're probably going to agree on? Who's hot, who's not. Hot was difficult this time around. But you got both of them, Sierra.
I don't even remember who I put down. Oh, Clark Schmidt. Listen, Clark the Shark. I've been waiting all season for my guy Clark to show up like this. Clark is one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite pitchers, and he's been very inconsistent this year. Obviously, he was injured at the beginning of the season, which also another guy who's injury prone, which kind of sucks because he was finally starting to find his pace as a starter, but that's a whole other conversation. It just felt like each game he was getting better. Finally, against the Royals, he gave us 6 scoreless innings. He gave up 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 hits. Clark the Shark was here in full form. That is the Clark that I want moving forward. So, Clark, if you're out there, Clark's dad, Dwight, if you hear this, please talk to him. Like, that's all I want moving forward from Clark is 6 innings, get the walks under control, and we're good to go. That's a solid number 4 in our rotation.
Yep. With you there.
I wanted to give my guy, or backup catcher, who we don't see very often, JC Escarra, some love. Anyone who's been watching since the beginning of the season knows that I am very hard on Austin Wells when it comes to him being behind the plate. And I am, because of all the expectations that we're getting from analytics about how great Wells is defensively. And I just don't see it. We have 4 1-0 wins this season. My guy, JC Escarra, Mr. Uber driver, Mr. Substitute teacher, Mr. Soon-to-be dad, so happy Father's Day to him.
Yeah.
He's been behind the plate for all 4 games. And I feel like there's something to be said about that, because you can lose a 1-0 game or a 0-0 game, whatever, on something as easy as a pass ball, right? Or not framing good. You hurt your pitcher, catcher interference. So the fact that he's been back there for all 4, I feel like that's just a really cool stat. And I just wanted to show him some love.
I think that's great. You know, you're doing the bidding of Max Goodman, who still has a really old pinned tweet about when Scar wasn't even up yet. So and Jared wants to oops, this was no, I wanted to put this up. So Jared's saying, yeah, you know
Ooh.
what? I can't believe I didn't put Yarbrough in there. Because you know he has been doing pretty well for us. And Karen,
I
go ahead, say
no,
so.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go on about Yarbrough.
I I'm not going to discredit the guy because he's doing exactly what we need him to do, but we have seen him kind of revert back into a pumpkin recently. I don't know if him being in the rotation long term is the solution. And obviously we don't have a solution right now, right? Because Marcus Stroman is still on the IL. Clark has just found himself. So right now, like, and Will Warren he's really kind of broken out this season. He's had a few clunkers, but I don't know if Yarbrough long term is the guy. Like the Yankees really need to think about getting pitching before we're at the deadline. It's not sustainable.
Yep. Karen, I see your comment. I'm saving it for the last category of this segment.
Mhm.
So who's not hot? Listen, maybe he should be in meh, but I put him here because Dominguez, you cost us who knows what. But that taking a little walk off of second base thing you were doing when Grisham was at bat, and you just decided, oh, that swing was his third strike, is so I don't even know what the word is, but you got caught. You didn't like you got tagged off of a second. And what if the next guy got a hit? That would have been a run we never got, and we'll never know. Jason, do better. That mental IQ went whoop, that baseball IQ took a dive. So he's my not. I just feel like he is so inconsistent still. He's doing better in left. I will give him that. I've seen some great plays with him in left, but the base running, we you know, and again, I know one small sample, but it, you know, in a series like this where we're looking like low A ball, it really mattered. So he's my very cranky not.
So this is one of those rare moments where Lynn and I disagree because I love Dominguez. He's a rookie. And despite what Red Sox fans want us to believe, he has not been in the league for 3 years. He's been in the league for 5 months. And I agree that was a very poor base running mistake. I do agree there. However, I do not think he cost us the game. And before that, he was 15 for 15 for stolen bases, had not been thrown out this season. So I think it was a very poor rookie mistake. And I just don't want to kill him over it because the bats weren't alive yesterday. And while I do think it might have cost us a run if Grisham didn't strike out, I do not think he lost us the game. And he did take accountability in the post game, and I love that. But I don't want to see fans coming for his head because he is just a rookie. And he did get us an RBI. Like he is, you know, he put us on the board. So I am gonna wrap my arms around Dominguez and say, leave him alone.
All right, I'm waving the white tissue. Look, I'm conceding to you twice in one show, and I know I'm extra sensitive because this series has me in all of my feelings. But I get what you're saying there. So go on with yours. Let me see if I can find an opposing point of view to it.
Listen, Trent Grisham, he from game 1 of the season was way more than what anyone thought he was going to be, right? He was supposed to be the 4th outfielder. He was not supposed to make it to where we couldn't decide who should be playing the outfield every day because obviously Judge and Belly aren't going to sit. So the fact that it's been such a tight race between Dominguez, a rookie, and Grisham, who is typically a 4th outfielder, who's only making like $5 million, was actually insane because it's a great argument to have. However, he's kind of regressed recently, in my opinion. His last 7 games, he's batting exactly 200, 5 for 25. And then his last 15 games, if you want to take a deeper look into it, he's batting 193. And look, I know that people my age say batting average doesn't matter. It's a boomer stat, blah, blah, blah. But it shows you if they're hitting the ball or not. And he's clearly not doing that. So, and the fact that he's a leadoff hitter is an issue. So, we have a Dodgers fan in the chat who is going to show us some of Grisham's stats from yesterday. I appreciate you, Go Dodgers. So when you get those, I'll pull them up. Hopefully you're agreeing with me, not disagreeing with me, because I just think it's no shade to Grisham. He's a great outfielder, but he's just kind of regressing a little. And I do not want to see him in the leadoff spot anymore.
No counterpoint there. And he also, I can't remember exactly the play. He messed something up in the field too during the series. I don't remember his last night. It's all a blur to me, which game it even was at this point. So maybe instead of putting him lead off, maybe give him a nap and let him sit for a day. I think maybe that would be called for. And so my not. Yeah. Oh, are we gonna have another debate about it? But I'm giving a nod to Volpe because it wasn't even a hard turnaround, and that throw off of Narvaez's grounder to Goldschmidt. Look what that did to us. We got Narvaez on base, who's not a slow poke, and it just goes with the look. It's also partly not just because of that, but because we've been seeing that from Volpe for, I guess it's the month of June. Maybe we call it a June thing. But, something's going on with the D. And when your bat has been, like, approaching lukewarm, I got a beef with that.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. So while Volpe's bat is starting to kind of do what we need him to do, he's kind of, he's showing us this is exactly who he is. Like he's advertising who he is. I still blame the Yankees for the way that they kind of shoved him down our throats coming up. And I feel bad for Volpe. You know what I mean? Like he's always going to be compared to Jeter, and that's not fair to him. He will never be Jeter, and I guess my whole point is he's exactly who he is. Offensively, defensively, this is Volpe, and unfortunately, it is what it is. Like, there's not much more I can say about it.
Yeah, and I really don't know that he's going to make the All-Star team, which, by the way, guys, if you don't know it, voting's open, and you can vote every day multiple times. So if you're not doing it, I don't know why you're not doing it, but do it. So that that brings us to the meh section. And so I want us to be able to scroll down, but I was saving this. So Karen wants to give a little love to Wells for his offense this week.
I'm with Karen. I think his bat woke up this week. I have a bigger beef with Wells with his defense because I'm always told how great his framing is, how he's top 5 catcher defensively, and I don't friggin' see it, okay? And yes, my eyeballs seeing it, like that's a real thing, okay? But his bat finally waking up, I'll take it, especially when Goldie's in a little bit of a slump, Grisham's slumping, Judge is having a rough series right now. Anyone who wants to wake up their bat, I will 100% support you. Please just show up for me today.
Yeah. Yeah, please. Who are your mess?
So I mentioned it a little bit, and I know 99/22 isn't going to agree with me, and that's fine. Rodon, I'm not upset with him. Did he have a great outing yesterday? Absolutely not. But 3 runs? You're telling me we can't come back from a 3-run deficit? That's on the offense at that point. A starting pitcher giving up 3 runs is nothing, right? Like, that's not a big deal in my opinion. And I just feel like he's having such a great season that I really cannot be mad at him for that one bad outing. So I still think the offense and just the bad defense yesterday just kind of killed us. But yeah, that's my one meh right now.
Okay, gotcha. And I called out DJ already higher up, but and I already said this, but I'll say it again because it's fun. as of now, the past 2 games, he's a third in the highest batting average in the starting lineup, past just below Judge and Goldschmidt. So keep that coming. I want you to be a hot, not a meh next week.
Go DJ. That's my DJ.
And Sierra, you already talked about Dominguez being meh. You want to do that again?
No, I mean I had to defend Dominguez because he's just a little baby. But just to throw it out there, just so everyone hears me again, he was 15 for 15 for stolen bases this season. The kid can run, and his bat is there. Like he's hitting the ball. He takes walks, but I do get it. Like he got caught sleeping yesterday. Like that's a rookie mistake, and moving forward, don't do that. And I don't think he will. But my last meh is Goldie, because Goldie has been very consistent, very consistent this season. But he's in a little bit of a slump right now.
Yep.
So he went 0 for 4 Friday, and in his last 15 games, he's 11 for 58. He is off today. So hopefully that'll just give him some time to take a little nap, because we go home tomorrow to play the Angels. And I refuse to lose to the Angels. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and we're home, so there's that. And so for the first time ever, we don't have a hero of the week, do we?
The hero of the week is my mental health, because I did not allow the Yankees to ruin my Friday or my Saturday. I still went to the gym and kicked my workouts ass. So shout out to my mental health for being the hero of the week.
I love that. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to stretch for it, but good for you for finding something. I am not in the frame of mind to even try to find something positive there. Anyone in the chat have a hero that they want to call out? Would love to see it. Would love to have some hope for today's game. So okay, so, and then I guess you're not enjoying my shirt, John the Beagle Dad.
Ooh, I am with you. 99 over 22. Stanton coming back tomorrow. That will be the hero of the week.
Oh yeah. So next week you could look for that, because he definitely will be. All right, so let's talk about the what the ill. So Luke Weaver, expected back June or July. He supposedly was going to throw a bullpen session or a live batting practice yesterday, and has received a platelet-rich plasma injection. It's like they're trying to describe a dish in a fine restaurant. A platelet-rich plasma injection to speed healing. All right, whatever it is, give it to him again and again. That's too long for us to wait. That you're even saying July is making me think All-Star break, and I really don't want to think that. Luis Heel, still about 10 to 14 days away from facing hitters. And so if you want to do the math, and I seldom want to do the math, I seldom can do the math. We're probably looking at after the All-Star break for him. Jay Cousins, still waiting on opinions with him. Opinions are like something else, and everyone's got one. So we'll see how long that takes. Boone is saying it's trending towards TJ surgery. So Raziel, yeah, I'm stopping to put this up. Whose hero isn't he? And so and then we just talked about Stroman a little bit earlier. And you were talking, Ciara, about how well he's doing. So 3 1/3 innings, 46 pitches in Double-A, and recovered well after his outing. So, and being built up as a starter.
I still don't think he was actually injured. I think they just told him to sit his ass down and fake it till you make it, because we're not letting you get to the vesting option. And they rode it. Listen, it is what it is. But Will Warren has been decent. Yarborough has done what he needs to do. But it's time for Stroman to come back and be the fifth starter. I know a lot of people don't like him, but we're stuck with him for right now. And I I don't see him getting traded at the deadline either. So
yeah. And Go Dodgers is saying it's sad that Judge is stuck with Boone and Cashman. Bruce Bochy would have won Judge a ring by now.
Listen, I don't agree. I agree. I feel like Judge's prime has been kind of wasted with some of the decisions that have been made for this team. And it's really sad because we literally have the best player in baseball. And we talk about it all the time. We are so incredibly lucky to watch this guy play game in and game out. And it's sad that you have a guy like Judge on the Yankees without a ring. You have a guy like Mike Trout on the Angels without a ring. Guys like that should have rings. And I really hope we can get Judge and Cole and Stanton a ring before they retire.
Yes, I mean, we have to. I wish I could make it so. But they both, if there's two guys that deserve it, well, the third would be Don Mattingly should have had a ring. And he never got it. But in the current, yes, absolutely, these guys deserve rings. And yes, it's true that his Judge's prime was somewhat wasted, but he is a different kind of 33-year-old, I think. I think you could compare him to other 33-year-olds and see a big difference in his strength, in his production. Mm-hmm. Hell, let's look at his numbers for exit velocity for one thing, and how far. So I don't think yet, and I hope that we could timestamp that and no one will come back with the receipt on that. But I'm not worried about his age at this point, as hot as he is.
That's it for the IL. We got Big Daddy Stanton coming back tomorrow.
So. Yeah, can't wait for that. And so that's good. You said it just as I popped up. What's next? I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Big G to be in the uni and in the lineup, in the DH where he belongs. I'm sure we'll be talking about what's next for certain other players once that happens. I'm sure Boone is like rubbing his hands because it's a good old game of chess that's going to be happening again. And so who knows what that's going to look like. So in terms of what's next, let me just pull up the lineup for today. So if you haven't seen it yet, there it is. I'm sorry it's so small. But we have Escara catching again. So to Sierra's points earlier, that could be a really good sign with his outings, and we have Fried. Fried is for a few. It's good to know that we have him on the bump today, and so and we have Peraza there at first because of Goldie being out. Not just a little bit nervous about that. So we'll see what happens there. I guess you always have to have something to be nervous about these days. And then after that, we got the Angels and then the Orioles before we see you next. How are you feeling about the Angels and Orioles, Ciara?
Listen, the Angels, they're one of those teams where one week they play crap and the next week they play like all-stars. So I'm always confident going into any series, but I also never want to dismiss any team. I just need the bats to show up. That's all I'm asking. But with that being said, Stanton coming back lengthens the lineup, right? You can't pitch around Belly, Judge, Goldie, and Stanton. You have to pick somebody. So that alone helps us, and that might get some of our young guys some better pitches. Dominguez might see better pitches. Rice could see better pitches. I'm here for it. As far as Baltimore goes, listen, as bad as they are an AL team, and we all know how we play against AL teams. So I'll just say that.
Right. Yeah, so I say it about pretty much every team, but I'm going to say it about the last place Orioles. Don't sleep on them. And yes, they're in our house, but still, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on anyone. We should be coming back to the Bronx with the tail between the legs as it is. So, we're hopeful. I'm hopeful. It's always better at home. Jared, you're saying that This could be a trap series. So I'm assuming.
He's saying we're going to play really good and then play really bad, is what I'm assuming he's saying. Because I'm going to take bets on who's getting DFA'd or sent down tomorrow when Stanton comes back. Is Pablo Reyes going to go find a job at Costco? Is Peraza getting DFA'd because homeboy's out of options? Is Ben Rice isn't going anywhere. So if anyone thinks Ben Rice is going somewhere, they've already said he will play games at catcher. Yep. So my third option, and this one hurts me because I just love this guy so much, is JC Escarra the guy that's going to have to use an option? Well, because he has options. Is he the guy that's going to be sent down? Because that will break my heart.
I don't want to think about it.
We're gonna find out tomorrow. So
yeah, but then there's no backup catcher. So Rice you say they'll put Rice at catcher.
So they've already said Rice will catch 1 to 2 games a week when Stanton comes back because they are trying to get him his at-bats. So my theory, and listen, I don't know anything. Okay, I'm just a girl. My theory is that Rice will get a game or 2 at catcher, a game or 2 at DH because Stanton's not going to play every day right away, and a game or 2 at first base because he's basically going to be like your utility. The catcher needs a day off. Your first baseman needs a day off. Your DH needs a day off. But I want Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone and everybody else to hear me out before they send JC Escarra back to the minors. He has experience playing third base, okay? His bat is more proven, in my opinion, than Peraza and Reyes. I would keep Escarra here. I think he's more valuable for you in the long run because he can play third. He can play catcher. Listen, he could probably play first if you threw it at him, but, I mean, don't go experimenting that right now. I just think he's more valuable to us in the bigger picture than somebody who can barely run the bases.
And Raziel, I think you're right. I think Rice is built for that, and could be built up more and more for that. So, but to everything Ciara just said, I don't think we have to worry about Rice in general. It's just going to be interesting to see what we what we'll see in the future about it. And I don't know, Reyes doesn't get hurt, and that's the bottom line. And also because his salary is stupid low, they probably won't DFA him.
It's hard to get hurt when you play once every 3 months. Like every time he's in the lineup, I'm like, oh, this guy actually still plays for us. And I think he has the same reaction when he's actually on the bases. He's like, oh my God, I have to do something.
Look, if he didn't get hurt when he fell like a turtle that got turned over at home plate, he's not going to get hurt by anything. So you can't think about it that way. That's for sure.
Did you see his post-game interview? There is no thought behind those eyes. Like the light is on, nobody is home. He is just here for the ride at this point. But I think you guys are right. I think we're stuck with him. The guy finds a way. He's like a little cockroach. Like he just doesn't die.
No, you step on him, he finds a way out from under your heel. Raziel's saying that he's telling us that Peraza is out the door because the Yankees hate him. I think is what he said earlier. All right, we got the receipts, Razzie. We'll see what happens when we get there. And so, yeah, I think, and let's just see how that receipt you're holding is with Peraza on first base today. Raziel, I'm more than a little bit nervous about that, but. That about wraps it up for us this week. So, sharing is caring. Hit that like button. We'd be very happy and grateful if you did. And in a world full of so many things, be kind to one another. It doesn't cost a thing. It doesn't take space. You don't have to like everybody, agree with everybody, but New York is love. And that means everybody. So let's just be kind. And those of you in the chat, you are kind. We're so happy you're with us every week. Thank you so much. And as always, go Yankees! Don't sweep. Don't miss that sweep.